"I'm bored with you, I need someone who can fund me," she wrote. I simply answered, "Understood." Days later, her shopping sprees ended with declined cards and panic. I'm a pharmaceutical sales manager, 34 years old, and I'd spent nearly 2 years with Melissa thinking we were building something that mattered. Thursday afternoon in Phoenix, I was sitting in a quarterly sales meeting when my phone buzzed with the message that ended everything. "Jason, I need to be honest. I'm bored. I need someone who can actually fund my dreams, not just support them on a middle-class budget. Someone with real wealth and connections, not someone grinding corporate quotas." I stared at the screen while my regional director discussed Q3 projections. Nearly 2 years, and this was the ending. A text message during my afternoon meeting, casual as canceling dinner plans. I felt cold clarity wash over me, the kind you get when suspicions finally get confirmed. I typed one word, "Understood." My phone exploded seconds later. "Understood? That's IT? You never fight for anything. You never cared about me the way I needed." I watched messages pile up, each more frantic, and realized she hadn't wanted to leave me. She'd wanted me to panic, to grovel, to prove my worth through desperation. Instead, I'd given her exactly what she requested: acknowledgement and absence. "You're such a coward." I wasted 2 years on someone this emotionally unavailable. I silenced my phone and returned to pretending interest in revenue forecasts. Within 15 minutes, Melissa blocked me on Instagram, Facebook, every platform we shared, except text messages. She wanted that door open for whatever came next. What Melissa didn't know was that I documented everything. Spreadsheets were second nature in pharmaceutical sales. Tracking numbers, analyzing patterns, identifying trends was literally my profession. For 10 months, I'd been tracking something else. Every dollar flowing through the corporate expense account she'd convinced me to add her to. Every charge, every merchant, every date and time. My business partner Frank had warned me 6 months ago. "Your executive assistant just charged $1,500 at a luxury spa. What business development happens during seaweed wraps?" I'd made excuses then: networking, building her brand, maintaining professional image. But Frank's skepticism planted a seed that grew into a comprehensive financial audit I'd conducted quietly for months. Sitting in that conference room with Melissa's breakup text glowing, I opened my laptop and pulled up the spreadsheet. 10 months of expenses. $63,000 in charges having nothing to do with pharmaceutical sales. Pilates studios, facial treatments, designer consignment shops, restaurants where she'd insist on paying to look successful, champagne brunches every weekend, influencer photoshoot locations, hair extensions, even a Sedona resort weekend classified as business retreat. The meeting ended. I walked to my car, sat with AC blasting and made the call. "Mark, I need you to remove someone from corporate accounts immediately." My accountant knew I wasn't impulsive. Name and employee ID? Melissa Reeves. 7742. Remove her from everything, terminate all credit access, flag pending transactions for decline. Now. 20 minutes. I'm showing 8 charges processing. Decline those too. What are they? $1,200 at Lux and Thread Boutique. $800 deposit at Fleming's. $300 SoulCycle. $450 Drybar. $200 Pressed Juicery. $600 Nordstrom. $375 Sephora. $95 at Postino Wine Bar. Even in her final hours, she'd been spending like no tomorrow. Decline everything. Confirmation came 37 minutes later. All accounts terminated. All cards declined. Employee status, former, terminated for cause. The paper trail was clean, documented, legally defensible. Melissa Reeves no longer had access to anything connected to my business or finances. I drove home through Phoenix traffic, past luxury developments where she'd wanted us to live, past shopping centers where she'd spent afternoons networking, into my modest Arcadia neighborhood where houses were older but mortgages manageable. My phone buzzed incessantly, but I didn't look. I needed to get home, pour a drink, and prepare for the storm. Because I knew this wasn't over. 10 months earlier, everything had seemed different. Melissa's personal styling business was collapsing, 3 major clients dropped her for missed deadlines and unprofessional behavior, including posting a client's closet photos on Instagram without permission. I watched her spiral. Her Scottsdale luxury condo cost $2,800 monthly, the leased Mercedes GLE another $900, credit cards maxed at $42,000 from maintaining her lifestyle brand persona on social media. She'd cried genuinely one night. "I'm drowning, Jason. Everything's falling apart." That's when I made the mistake. My company allowed executives to add assistants to corporate expense accounts for legitimate business purposes. I'd never needed one, but the option existed. What if I added you as my executive assistant? You could help with client relationship management, scheduling, hospitality aspects of pharmaceutical sales. Her face transformed. Relief, gratitude, what looked like genuine love. "You'd do that for me?" "We'd keep it professional. Legitimate expenses only, client dinners, business development, things supporting my work." "Absolutely. Jason, this would save my life." Paperwork went through within a week. Melissa Reeves, executive assistant, employee 7742, authorized for corporate expenses. Frank was skeptical immediately. "You're employing your girlfriend? This'll bite you." "It's temporary until she's back on her feet." First month, charges seemed reasonable, $300 for client dinners, $200 for business cards. By month 3, amounts crept up. $500 for professional wardrobe consultation. $800 for a business development retreat that looked like spa weekend. Month 5 brought charges making no sense, Pilates studios, facial treatments, designer shopping labeled professional attire acquisition. When I questioned $1,200 at a boutique, she got defensive. "I need to look the part representing you to hospital administrators. Image matters." By month 7, Frank pulled me aside weekly. "Your assistant charged $900 for champagne brunch with potential clients." "What clients?" "She's building medical community relationships." "Jason, that restaurant's an influencer brunch spot. The only medical professionals there are cosmetic surgeons hunting Instagram models." That's when I started the spreadsheet. Every charge, color-coded, green for legitimate, yellow for questionable, red for personal. Within 2 weeks, 80% was red. Pilates, 45 sessions at $65 each. Facials, weekly at $200. Designer shopping, $400 to $1,500, vaguely labeled professional development. Restaurants, champagne brunches every weekend, steakhouses where she'd pay for friends to look successful, wine bars hosting networking events, with girlfriends and expensive bottles. Most egregious was a Sedona weekend, luxury resort, spa, dining, hot air balloon, classified as strategic planning retreat. I'd been in Dallas at an actual conference. By month 10, I'd documented $63,000. Maybe $8,000 was justifiable. The other $55,000 was pure personal spending funded by my company. I'd confronted her once, gently. Some charges seem more personal than professional. The Pilates weekly facials. Tears filled her eyes immediately. "You think I'm stealing? After everything we've built? I'm out there daily representing your company, and this is the thanks? Accusations?" "I'm just saying we need to be careful. I can't believe you're making me feel criminal for helping your career. You know how hard I work to look professional? This is what it costs." I'd backed down, let her turn it around, make me guilty for asking. Now, sitting in my Arcadia living room with whiskey and my laptop, I looked at the spreadsheet with clear eyes. This wasn't mistakes with a company card. This was systematic financial exploitation dressed as professional development, enabled by my conflict avoidance and her manipulation. Frank called it 8. "Did you really do it?" "Completely. Mark terminated everything." "Thank God. I've been watching this train wreck for months." $63,000 in 10 months. Frank whistled. "Jesus. Documented everything? Every transaction. Keep that spreadsheet safe. You're going to need it." Friday morning, 6:30 a.m., my phone vibrated. Melissa from another number. "My card declined at workout class. There's some bank error. Call Mark and fix it." I was drinking coffee, watching Phoenix sunrise turn orange before the heat became unbearable. It's not a bank error. What do you mean? You were terminated from executive assistant position yesterday at 4:17 p.m. All corporate access revoked per company protocol. She called immediately. I let it go to voicemail. Voicemail. Third time I answered. You can't just terminate me. I have expenses, commitments, a life depending on my corporate expense account? Yes, I'm aware. This is illegal. Wrongful termination. I'm calling a lawyer. Feel free. I have 10 months of documented expenses showing systematic personal use of corporate funds. Your attorney will find it fascinating reading. Silence. Then, you've been tracking me? Like some psycho. Like an analyst doing his job. Every charge categorized, time-stamped, cross-referenced. $63,000, Melissa. Maybe 8,000 legitimate. You do the math. She hung up. Texts flooded in. You're doing this because I broke up with you. This is revenge. I'm doing this because you broke up with me via text while actively spending company money on Pilates and handbags. I'm going to ruin you. I screenshotted everything, forwarded it to my attorney David. His response, let her threaten. Don't engage. Document everything. By noon, she discovered the full cutoff. The salon declined my hair appointment. Nordstrom won't process my return. How am I supposed to pay for anything? Saturday morning, I drove to my office for paperwork catch-up. I parked in the garage around 8 a.m. when I heard heels clicking rapidly on concrete. Jason! Stop! Melissa power walked toward me, her sister Nicole trailing behind with phone out, recording. We need documentation of his financial terrorism, Nicole announced, camera on my face. Financial terrorism. That was new. Hi Melissa. Nicole. I kept my voice professional. You can't cut me off without warning. You know what position you've put me in. I gave you what you asked for. You needed someone who could fund you. I'm not that person, so I terminated our professional relationship. Professional relationship? We were together 2 years. And you were employed as my executive assistant for 10 months. Those are separate issues. Employment ended when you resigned from the relationship. Nicole moved closer. He's admitting it. Using corporate position to punish her. I pulled out a folder I'd prepared, anticipating this confrontation. Inside was termination letter on company letterhead, signed by me and Frank, with summary listing termination grounds. Melissa Reeves was employed as executive assistant October 2023 through August 2024. Employment terminated for cause due to systematic misuse of corporate resources, personal purchases totaling approximately $55,000 charged to business accounts. All access revoked. Company property must be returned within 14 days per standard protocol. I handed her the folder. Her hands shook opening it. This is bullshit. Fabricated. Every charge listed with date, time, merchant, amount. Dispute any specific item. Nicole still recording. This is retaliation for ending a toxic relationship. This is standard corporate termination for financial misconduct. Termination date coincides with Ms. Reeves's resignation from our personal relationship, but grounds are based solely on documented resource misuse over 10 months. I'd practiced that with David. Keep it professional, documented, give them nothing emotional. Melissa's face went desperate. Jason, please. Can we talk privately? Communication regarding employment termination should go through my attorney. I handed her David's card. Personal communication can continue via text, though I'd prefer distance while emotions are high. Distance? You're destroying my life. I'm terminating an employee for cause. Different things. I walked toward the elevator. Behind me, Nicole still recording, talking about financial abuse. Doors closed on Melissa's pale face, mascara starting to run. Frank texted during the ride. Security called. Your ex is in the garage. Want me down? Already handled. They're leaving. By Sunday, real panic set in. Messages shifted from angry to desperate. My rent is due Tuesday. How do I pay $2,800? Mercedes payment due. They'll repo if I miss another month. I have no money. Sir. You've left me with nothing. I sat reading each message, feeling exhausted relief. Frank came over with pizza and beer. She really thought she could keep spending indefinitely? I think she genuinely believed this was how relationships worked. Fund her lifestyle until she finds the next guy. Except you cut funding before she secured replacement. Pretty much. Frank raised his beer. To documentation and spreadsheets. Another message from Melissa. I hope you're happy. Hope destroying me makes you feel like a big man. Frank shook his head. She still doesn't get it. She destroyed herself. Monday afternoon, reviewing sales projections, my phone rang. Robert Reeves, Melissa's father, quiet maintenance worker at a community college, always seemed embarrassed by his daughter's luxury obsession. Jason, you got a minute? Melissa told me what happened. Her version. I wanted your side before I do something I might regret. Did she mention the $63,000? Long silence. She said you were exaggerating. Maybe 10 or 15,000, mostly legitimate expenses you're calling personal because she broke up with you. I pulled up my spreadsheet. I can email full documentation. Every charge, categorized. October through August. Total is $63,412. Maybe $8,000 justifiable as business. Rest is boutique fitness, spa treatments, designer shopping, influencer brunches, Sedona resort weekend. Jesus Christ. I taught her better than this. Robert's voice went quiet. This isn't on you, Robert. She called yesterday asking for $15,000 to tide her over. Said you froze her accounts illegally. I told her I'd call you first. Her accounts weren't frozen. She had authorized access to corporate expense accounts as an employee. That access terminated with her employment. Robert exhaled slowly. I'm not giving her $15,000. Hell, I don't have it. I'm still paying off credit cards she opened in my name during college. That was new information. She's got a pattern, Robert continued. Finds someone to fund her lifestyle, burns through resources, moves on. I kept hoping she'd grow out of it. Look, Jason, I'm sorry for what she put you through. If she contacts you again, don't cave. She needs to learn this the hard way. We hung up and I felt oddly grateful for his pragmatism. That lasted about 4 hours. At 6 p.m., my phone exploded with notifications. Instagram tags, Facebook mentions, Twitter alerts. Melissa had launched coordinated social media attacks, posting tearful videos about corporate abuse, tagging my pharmaceutical company, Frank, even shared clients. I watched the first video with sound off. Melissa in her car, makeup streaked, explaining how she'd been hired as consultant, given promises about career development, then fired without cause while her intellectual property and client lists were stolen. She'd tagged my company. Is this how at Phoenix Pharma Partners treats consultants? Hire them, exploit connections, discard them. Within 30 minutes, 200 sympathetic comments. This is why women can't get ahead. Sue them for everything. Frank called. You seeing this? She tagged 3 hospital clients. This could damage us. I'm calling David. My attorney picked up immediately. I saw. Already drafting response. Do not engage directly. Let me handle this through proper channels. What about our clients believing her? They won't. I'm posting professional rebuttal with documentation. Trust me. 2 hours later, Frank posted from his personal account, detailed response with redacted receipts showing charges at champagne brunch spots, luxury spas, boutiques, all labeled business development, but clearly personal. His caption was military precise. In response to allegations, employment records show personal expenditures totaling $55,000 plus charged to business accounts over 10 months. Examples include weekly spa treatments, $200 per session, luxury brunches, $300 to $900 per event, designer shopping, $400 to $1,500 per transaction, resort vacations. All documented. This is not discrimination or corporate abuse. This is standard termination for financial misconduct. The tide shifted immediately. 3 corporate clients commented defending me. Dr. Patricia Williams, hospital administrator. I've worked with Jason Turner 6 years on pharmaceutical procurement. He's one of the most ethical professionals I know. This sounds like personal drama, not professional misconduct. Michael Brennan from Scottsdale Medical. We've had nothing but positive interactions with Phoenix Pharma Partners. These allegations don't match the company we know. Even Melissa's comments turned. Wait, you were charging spa days to his company? This doesn't sound like corporate abuse. Sounds like you got caught. Melissa deleted posts within hours, but screenshots had spread. Frank texted, she's learning about the Streisand effect the hard way. By midnight, her narrative had collapsed online. But she wasn't finished. Wednesday morning, certified letter arrived. Randall Pierce, attorney at law, from a strip mall legal office specializing in personal injury. The demand letter requested $45,000 in wrongful termination damages, restoration of Melissa's account access, formal apology posted to my professional networks, and compensation for reputational harm. I forwarded it to David, who called back laughing. Pierce is a joke in legal circles. Handles slip and fall cases. Has no idea what he's walking into. What do we do? Counter notification. We'll threaten recovery of fraudulent expenses, all $55,000 personal charges, plus legal fees. Note her social media posts constitute libel per se. Watch him disappear. David's response arrived Friday. By Monday, nothing back. Told you, David said. He looked at documentation, realized his client lied about everything, decided this wasn't worth the malpractice claim. Meanwhile, Melissa's financial situation spiraled, documented through desperate texts and social media. Tuesday, my Mercedes got repossessed. 7 a.m., just took it from the parking lot. Had to Uber to job interview. You know how humiliating that is. Thursday, condo association posted eviction notices. 3 days to pay or they're filing. I have nowhere to go. Her credit cards were maxed. She posted coded Instagram stories about corrupt banking systems and financial institutions targeting vulnerable women. Friday, she started a GoFundMe, business owner targeted by corporate retaliation. Goal, $25,000. Progress after 4 days, 340 from 12 contributors, mostly influencer friends making minimal contributions. Comments were brutal. Why don't you just get a job? Sounds like you spent someone's money and got caught. She disabled comments. Wednesday evening, unexpected text from unknown number. Hi Jason, this is Monica Webb. You don't know me, but I was one of Melissa's styling clients. I heard what happened and wanted to thank you. I texted back confused. Her response, Melissa charged me $3,500 for comprehensive wardrobe transformation last spring. Showed up late, took closet photos, canceled next 3 appointments. When I tracked her down, she presented recommendations literally copied from Pinterest. I reverse image searched them. When I asked for refund, she threatened to post unflattering photos online. I walked away scared of what she'd do. I'm sorry that happened. Don't be sorry. Just wanted you to know you're not crazy. She's not a victim. She's been running this scam for a while. 2 other former clients had similar experiences. She'd charge huge upfront fees, do minimal work, use money to fund her lifestyle while claiming she was building her brand. Monica sent another message. I saw her social media posts about you. Some of us see through it. She's not a struggling entrepreneur. She's a con artist who ran out of marks. Thursday brought the Instagram Live incident. Melissa at coffee shop complaining about systemic financial oppression when tow truck appeared outside hooking up her Mercedes. She didn't notice until comments pointed it out. She ran outside still streaming, arguing with driver about rights, legality. Driver handed her paperwork showing 4 months behind on payments. Video cut off with Melissa crying while Mercedes disappeared. Frank texted screenshot. She's providing her own karma documentation. By week 3, Melissa's lifestyle had disintegrated. Luxury condo, gone, replaced by Nicole's couch. Mercedes repossessed. Designer wardrobe, Sold on Poshmark at 70% retail with no buyers. Instagram followers dropped from 8,500 to 2,100, mostly bots. Content shifted from luxury posts to desperate job hunting disguised as exploring opportunities and pivoting her brand. The wealthy entrepreneur boyfriend vanished. I learned through connections he was actually a timeshare salesman renting exotic cars for content. Disappeared when Melissa asked for car payment help. Robert emailed Friday. Melissa took out 2 credit cards in my name last month without permission. I'm considering charges. She's asked Nicole for money too. I think she's hit bottom. I hope this is her wake-up call, but I'm not optimistic. I appreciated the update but didn't respond. This wasn't my problem anymore. 4 weeks after the breakup text, Melissa's entire constructed lifestyle had disintegrated. Her Instagram transformed from luxury brunch spots and designer outfits to desperate motivational quotes. Week 1 was defiant luxury content from remaining credit. Week 2 brought vague quotes about overcoming obstacles. Week 3 was job hunting disguised as exploring opportunities and pivoting my brand. Week 4 was just sad, posts about the universe testing you and losing everything to find yourself that screamed rock bottom. Follower count dropped from 8,500 to 2,100, mostly bots. Posts that used to get 300 likes now struggled for 40. Frank was invested in the spectacle. She posted Target dressing room selfies calling it budget-friendly fashion finds. Remember when she wouldn't walk through Target parking lots? Tuesday, mutual friend Lauren texted, FYI, Melissa's working at that call center on Camelback. Saw her yesterday. She looked rough. Wednesday brought email from Robert, filed police report regarding credit cards Melissa opened in my name. Also discovered she borrowed $8,000 from Nicole for business equipment, but used it for partial condo payment before eviction. Nicole's refusing to speak to her. Melissa's moved back with me and her mother temporarily. Not going well. She spends time in her bedroom on her phone, probably hunting the next sponsor. Sorry you got caught in this. You deserved better. Nicole messaged Thursday night, Jason, I owe you an apology. Melissa's been lying to everyone. Told me you were abusive and controlling. I believed her because she's my sister. She borrowed money claiming lawyer fees, spent it on her condo. When I confronted her, she tried gaslighting me. I'm done. Sorry for recording you and believing her without getting your side. I responded, I appreciate that, Nicole. Hope things work out. Frank discovered Melissa's dating app activity. She's on 3 apps with same bio. Entrepreneur seeking ambitious partner who values success and isn't afraid to invest in a relationship. Advertising for her next sponsor. That's bleak. Gets better. Photos are all from 6 months ago. Luxury lifestyle shots from when she spent your money. She's catfishing with a life she doesn't have. October brought an absurd text. Jason, I know things ended badly, but I'm interviewing for marketing coordinator position. They want 3 professional references. Could you provide one? David laughed. She wants the guy who terminated her for misconduct to give her a reference? The audacity is impressive. What do I say? Nothing. Don't respond. If they call, tell them she was employed briefly and terminated for cause. But they won't call. They didn't. Her social media became erratic. Midnight posts about toxic people. Motivational quotes about Phoenix Rising. Vague references to legal action against those who wronged me that never materialized. Saturday morning, I ran into her at my neighborhood coffee shop meeting a client. She sat at a corner table in plain Target jeans and t-shirt, hair in simple ponytail, minimal makeup. The transformation was startling. This wasn't the Melissa I dated. This was someone beaten down by reality. She was clearly in job interview with manager in company polo, taking notes in dollar store notebook, nodding eagerly. Desperation in her body language was palpable. Our eyes met through the window. Her face went through rapid emotions: shock, shame, anger, resignation. She looked away quickly, refocusing with forced enthusiasm. I felt nothing. Not satisfaction, not vindication, not pity. Just mild acknowledgement of seeing someone you used to know. My client arrived. We discussed pharmaceutical contracts for an hour. When we finished, Melissa was gone. That evening, text from unknown number. Long message Melissa had clearly written and rewritten based on careful wording. Jason, I saw you today. I've been trying to figure out what to say for weeks. I understand now. Not just about money, but what I became. I spent 2 years treating you like an ATM instead of a partner. I told myself I deserved luxury because I'd grown up poor. But I didn't make anything. I just found someone generous enough to fund the illusion. You were right to cut me off. I'm interviewing for customer service now. $16 hourly. Living with parents. Selling designer stuff on Poshmark for pennies. This is earning versus performing, and I hate it, but I understand it's what I should have been doing. I'm not asking for anything. Just wanted you to know I get it now. What I had with you was real, and I threw it away chasing something fake. You deserve someone who appreciates what you were building. Take care. I read it 3 times with a beer. Felt genuine in a way nothing from her had in months. Growth maybe, or forced humility from hitting bottom. I didn't respond. Some lessons needed learning in silence. Frank came over for Sunday basketball. I showed him the text. That's self-aware. Doesn't change anything. You responding? No. She doesn't need my closure. She needs to figure out her life without using people as props. How's Angela? Angela. Pediatric nurse I'd been seeing 6 weeks. Met at dinner party, bonded over healthcare costs, discovered we both preferred cooking at home over expensive restaurants. She drove 5-year-old Honda, split checks naturally, considered morning runs and farmers markets ideal weekends. Last Saturday she'd insisted on paying groceries because I'd cooked 3 times. You don't keep score. You both just show up and contribute. The contrast with Melissa was almost funny. Angela's good. We're cooking tomorrow. She's teaching me pad thai. So wholesome it's disgusting. Could be worse. Could be hunting sponsors on dating apps. 3 months post-breakup, my life had stabilized into what Melissa would have mocked as boring predictability. Got promoted to senior sales manager, 23,000 raise. Started contributing more to retirement instead of funding lifestyle fantasies. Savings grew 12,000 in 3 months, money that would have vanished into spa treatments. Angela and I took weekend Sedona trip in November. Modest Airbnb, runs through Red Rocks, cooked breakfast, read on patio. 400 total, split evenly. Opposite of Melissa's 5-star resort I'd paid for, infinitely more enjoyable. This is nice, Angela said watching sunrise. Simple and present. No performance, no documenting for social media. Just us. I thought about Melissa's Sedona, 3,200 generating 47 Instagram posts for followers who didn't care. Exactly what I needed. I heard about Melissa occasionally. Got call center job, $16.50 hourly, handling complaints for medical billing. Robert mentioned she was struggling but sticking with it. Instagram went quiet by December. Occasional posts, coffee shops studying certifications, generic quotes, Flagstaff Christmas photos with parents. No luxury brunches, designer bags, champagne. Just ordinary life by ordinary means. I felt nothing. Not vindication, not satisfaction, not curiosity. She'd become irrelevant, cautionary tale but not someone in my thoughts. January brought unexpected encounter. Dinner with Angela at Italian restaurant, spotted Melissa across room. Alone, eating pasta while working on laptop. Plain clothes, minimal makeup, tired from actual work. She glanced up, saw me, brief recognition, looked away. No drama, no tears. Just 2 people who used to know each other. Angela noticed. Someone you know? My ex. Angela glanced subtly. She looked sad. Learning hard lessons. Do you feel bad? I thought honestly. I feel bad she learned them this way. But I'm not responsible. Choices have consequences. Angela squeezed my hand. That's healthy. You're just neutral. Neutral is what I'm aiming for. February brought the ring. Simple, elegant design Angela would actually wear. 7 months together, everything felt right. No performance, no games, no spreadsheets. Just two people building something real. Waiting for right moment. Probably during cooking or after runs when we were sweaty laughing. That felt more us. I never heard from Melissa again. Friends said she moved to Tucson for fresh start, got promoted to supervisor, started dating coworker. Instagram went private. Whether she'd learned or found new methods, I didn't know or care. Sunday morning, Angela and I made breakfast. Ever think about what would have happened if Melissa hadn't sent that text? I flipped pancakes. Sometimes. But if she hadn't ended it, I would have eventually. The spreadsheet was already telling me everything. She just accelerated it. The famous spreadsheet. Still can't believe you documented everything. Analyst brain. It's kind of hot. Calm, methodical approach to chaos. I kissed her forehead. Weird taste. The weirdest, she agreed, stealing my pancake. Phoenix morning sun warmed the kitchen. My phone sat silent. No desperate texts, no emergencies, no drama. Just peaceful Sunday with someone who wanted to be here, building something together, splitting pancakes and planning futures worth having. Melissa had been right about one thing. I deserved someone who appreciated what I was building. I found her.